Alright, here's an update. Got the garage cleaned out a little bit. Got that table of parts out of the way. Got everything I don't need put away. And I guess the bigger part of the video is I got the black pearl put outside. Yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. So, cleaned up the shop a little bit, put everything away. These are some of the parts I decided to keep. My primary objective of getting rid of the cam chain tensioning systems, just couldn't throw that away. Same with the old cam chain driven gears. The heads and cylinders, I want to do some more investigative work. I want to look at my intake on my front cylinder a little bit better. I don't know if that valve was bent, but I do have a little bit more crud in it than everything else. That piston just has a little bit more carbon buildup than the rear did. So I always want to just spend a little bit more time, understand what was happening to that motor. This was vital. So that repair manual, that Haynes manual, anything that wasn't in the S&S instructions, which was a lot, I was able to use that manual, and then I also kept a notebook of what I was tearing apart and in what order and all of that. Got everything put back together today. I wrote my own specification sheet for doing my startup. I decided to pull out the plugs, turn it over a few times. By a few I mean probably 4 or 5 times, to just circulate some oil. And then I put the plugs in, but I didn't connect the wires, and I cranked it over another 3, 4, or 5 times just to get some oil and start building up some compression before I fired it up. And then I went to fire it up, and guess what? My startup procedure, I forgot to put gas in the gas tank. Yeah, that's kind of important. I had emptied every drop out of that tank during this assembly. So then I had a dead battery from cranking it over so many times, and no gas in the gas tank. So didn't top it off. I put in about 2 gallons, 3 gallons, and charged up the battery, fired it off. There's not a lot of oil in a lot of these parts, so I'm doing it really slow, starting it, letting it cool, starting it, letting it cool. There's a tick in the front cylinder. It sounds like it's either a push rod or a valve. So I'm not giving it any throttle whatsoever. As soon as it gets up to temp, I shut it off. I'm just waiting to see if I get enough oil up through the cam plate. And if that quiets down, maybe it's the lifter that hasn't gotten oil in it. I'm not sure, so I'm just doing this really slow. If it doesn't go away, then I'll probably on Saturday pull the push tubes apart and see if I did those right. These were 4 complete turns with the S&S adjustable push rods, and boy, I tried to be as thorough as I could, but maybe I messed that up. So anyways, I got there sitting outside if I wasn't bothering everybody when I was running it earlier today, just about ready to fire it up again. Give it I'm going to do it 2 more bursts tonight. So we got a real nice cool night here in Texas, so it's a good night to let it run, get up to temperature. Cools down pretty quick, which is going to help seat those head gaskets and the rings and everything. So I got two more runs to make. Let's do one now. right, so we're gonna let that run for just a little bit, shoot it with the heat gun, shut off, let it cool, do it one more time, call it a night. Cheers, ride safe.